Hey everybody, Rob with WePayOffDebt.ca. Hope you're doing well. Coming at you today with a new video on so you want to be responsible. So you want to be a good steward. What do you do? Okay, so first, before we go on, please go ahead and like and subscribe to this our channel here. I hope you find some great value here, and you'll be able to come back to this video in the future and be able to watch it over and over and over and get some great value moving forward. So first thing, if you want to be a good steward, if you want to be somebody who is living under God's reign financially, what do? First and foremost, you got to get out of debt. The Bible says the borrower is slave to the lender. When you are in debt, you don't have the freedom that you could have. Jesus died so that we would be free. When you are in debt, you are not as free as you could be otherwise. So first thing, if you want to be a good steward of your money, if you want to be a good steward of your resources, get out of debt. Get that debt out of your life. Okay? That's first thing. Second thing, if you want to be a good steward of what you've been given, make a plan. Be intentional. And the word there, of course, is a budget, right? Where you actually sit down and decide consciously, where do you want your money to go on a regular basis? Okay? Consciously choose and decide where you're going to go. Now, I'm going to put some links in the description here to give you some more resources as to what these things look like in more detail. Like, what does a budget look like? How do you budget? What do you do with that? But that is the key. That is the next key phrase. In fact, Jesus himself references this. He said something to the effect of, if somebody tried to build a tower and they couldn't finish, everybody will ridicule them because they couldn't actually get it done. Same thing. We need to actually sit down and make a plan. That's what he's criticizing there. He's saying you didn't plan through. You didn't check to see, could you actually get this done before you started? And that's what we're talking about here, is actually planning to get it done. Planning what you're going to do with your resources. Okay, that's step number 2. Step number 1, get out of debt. Get that out of your life. Step number 2 is be intentional. Step number 3, if you want to be a good steward of the resources that you've been given, you need life insurance. So what does this look like? You need to make sure that your family and the people who are depending on your income are okay if you happen to die. If God decides to take you home, what's going to happen to the people who are relying on your income right now? Right? Imagine if you are a father like me of young kids, what's going to happen? What would my wife do if I died today? What would that look like? Part of being a good steward of what I've been given is I need to think through that. We need to have some of those uncomfortable conversations, because you know what? 100%, we're all going to die. Nobody gets out of this life alive. And in fact, the only way to get to heaven is to die. So we all want to do it. We all want to get there. So what does that look like? You've got to be intentional and decide, okay, that's going to happen one day. I need to make sure that if I pass before my wife does or before my kids do, I need to make sure they're taken care of, because my income affects them. So if somebody is relying on your income, life insurance, absolutely. And the only way to go there is term life insurance. Again, I'll put a link in the description with some more details on insurance. Next up is the baby steps. So now you're out of debt. You're being intentional and you're having a plan. You have taken care of life insurance. Now you're starting to build some wealth. The Bible talks about that in the house of the wise are stores of choice food and oil. The Bible promises that when you live by godly principles, when you live by wise principles, you will prosper. And that's awesome. Now, this is not a health and wellness thing. This is not something that if you pray this many prayers, you will be rich or anything like that. No, horrible things happen to people all the time, and it sucks and it's horrible. But by and large, on the whole, if we are wise, and this is what the whole book of Proverbs is about, is that on the whole, if you do wise things, you will see good results. Right? Train up a child in the way they should go, and when they are old, they will not depart from it. That is not a promise like it's 100% of the time. Therefore, a child falls away or doesn't follow God. Therefore, you did something wrong. No, that's not how Proverbs work. In the same way, not everybody will be wealthy. Right? Not everybody will have stores of choice food and oil. But in general, if you follow wise practices, you will do this. So now that we've taken care of these basics, the next thing is to start investing, specifically living on less than you make and saving it. So putting aside, and the great guideline that has been proven true over the years, 15% of your income into retirement funds. Now in Canada, what that looks like your TFSA first, that looks like your RRSP second, or I guess match first. Anywhere you get a match first, absolutely get that first. Then TFSAs, then RRSPs, but up to 15% of your gross income, 15% of your yearly income, household income. Just take your whole household income, multiply by 0.15, and divide that by 12. Do that every single month. That will ensure you have money for your retirement. Okay, that's baby step 4. Baby step 5 is now you're building into your kids' college fund. So if you have kids, next step is help make sure that they're not going to go into debt when it comes to college. Student loans are a massive issue today in today's world. We can do something about that. Especially in Canada, we've got this amazing thing called an RESP, where the government gives you a 20% match on your money. You put in $1,000, the government gives you $200 to go towards your kid's school, as long as you do it before they turn 17 or 18. So the point is, again, I'll put a link in the description with some more details on RESPs, but the point is you'll want to do something for your kid's college. Lastly, baby step 6, pay off the house, because you are trying to get to that place where you have the stores of choice food and oil in your house, and you have the ability to make a difference in people's lives. You have the ability to see that single mom at church whose car breaks down, and you don't just pay for the repair, you buy her a new used car. Right? That's where we're moving to. So you get that house paid off, because think about, what's your house payment right now? Go ahead, say it out loud. What's your house payment right now? How much could you do with that much freed up in your budget every single month? That's where we're moving to, more and more freedom, because mortgages are debt, and debt is again, it's keeping you a slave. It's keeping you held back. You might say a bank is a good master, a mortgage is a good master, but it's still a master. It is still slavery. It is keeping you from living the completely free life you could otherwise. So, baby step 6, after you've got 15% going into your retirement, you've got something going towards your kids' college fund, you now pay with whatever money you have left over on top of that, pay off the house, and pay it off sooner rather than later, because baby step 7 is now you can live and give generously and be that person who can actually, somebody can't go to a conference like a church conference that is super valuable to them, and they would love to go, but then something happens and they lose their job. And you can step in and say, you know what? No, I'll pay for you to go. Totally pay for you. Here you go. Done. Ticket bought. And you don't even notice, because you don't have a house payment, because you've got money that you can actually spend to help people, to give, and to encourage people, to build people up and make a difference in this world. So that, my friends, is the biggest step that we all want to get to, the biggest place we can get to be a difference in this world financially. So I hope that gives you some encouragement. I hope that's that collection of steps. It's a little, might seem all over the place to you. All of those keys are super, super important. You get out of debt. You have a plan. You be very conscious on your money. You deal with the life insurance issue. That is a responsibility thing. From there, baby step 4, live on less than you make so that you put 15% of your income into retirement. 5, do something for kids' college. Take advantage of that free money the government's offering you. Baby step 6, pay off the house so that you can get to baby step 7 and be free to really build up the people around you. Live and give like no one else, as Dave Ramsey says. So I hope that brings you some encouragement today. Have a good one. We'll talk to you again soon.